Couple, British Columbia. Today I'm making a video about refixing or refinishing your old beeswax wraps. I use beeswax wraps instead of plastic to store things in the fridge usually. I have quite a few of these, and actually this project is long overdue. I should have done this months ago, if not possibly even a year ago. This is the first time I've ever actually done this as well, so this is maybe not just a tutorial, but a learn with me, because I don't know what I'm doing. Except for I do. It's going to be simple. It's nothing too crazy. If you use beeswax wraps, you'll notice over time they start to lose their firmness, and they get really soft, and they lose their tackiness as well. Don't you love my Bowie wraps? I love my Bowie wraps too. So what I'm going to be doing today is adding some more wax and oil to them so that they stick better again, and that way I don't have to go buy new ones, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the ones that I have. So this is what you will need. I live in a tiny space. I don't have a ironing board, so I'm using my countertop, and I put a towel down, parchment paper, and then I am putting the beeswax wrap onto the parchment paper, and I'll need a second piece of parchment paper over top. Most importantly, you're going to need some beeswax. This is a chunk of beeswax I have. I get it from the local honey farm, and I'll be using coconut oil because it is food safe. And then I'm going to be using this cheese grater to kind of grate smaller pieces because I don't want it to be chunky everywhere. And then I'm going to be using an iron to melt it all down. If you're not really familiar with beeswax wraps, I suggest you try one out because they are actually better than plastic. For example, I will cut an avocado in half and not want to eat the other half right away. So if I use a beeswax wrap and wrap the avocado and put it in the fridge, it actually doesn't turn brown, which is crazy because I think from what I've read anyways, beeswax wraps almost act like a skin sometimes for fruits and vegetables, so they tend to actually even last longer. Did I just say actually like 7 times? Oh, did it again. They just tend to last a lot longer when you use them wrapped in beeswax. So I have this one, which is my worst one actually. It's so old. There are pieces of fabric sticking out everywhere, and then chunks even of old wax. And then my favorite Bowie one. This is, I think I got, well, these two together obviously. I have them in a few different sizes because I use them for different size containers. Obviously you can use them for lids on top of jars and things as well. And then this one is actually my best one, but I will still be fixing this one as well. While I'm at it, might as well get them all done. So first thing you want to do is turn your iron on, and you want to use the highest setting, and then pick whatever wrap you're going to use first and kind of eye out the worst spots. I really am curious about this one actually because so much of the wax is kind of piled in some areas. I wonder if it will naturally just like smooth itself out. So I'm only going to put the wax where it really is kind of thin. So I'm going to take my beeswax and I'm going to use my grater on this side, the one with just the long slices, I guess you would call it. I'm just going to gently grate a bit of the wax and see how much I need. Maybe it's one of those situations where more is less. I'll tell you. I will tell you how much I muck this up. Just kidding. I won't muck it up. Okay, so I think I have enough beeswax on there in the worst spots. So I'm going to take my coconut oil and just add a little bit of coconut oil as well. So you want to make sure that you have about 1 inch or 2 all the way around your beeswax wrap onto the parchment paper, because once you use the iron on top, it will leak over the edges a little bit. So then I'm going to place my second piece of parchment paper on top and going to melt it down. It does melt pretty quickly, you can tell. see that there is no more hard places of wax. So you want to do this part quickly. Ooh, it's wet. Very, very wet. You want to let it dry. It'll dry pretty fast. You can already tell it's a bit stiffer, and that's what you want. I'm just looking now to see some of the spots where the old wax kind of bunched together is still like that. So I'm thinking I'm going to put it back down on the parchment paper and just go over the edges a little bit more. So for this one, I'll try to get a close-up to show you. The areas where the wax was bunching before, I feel like maybe it needs more wax added to it. I thought that it would kind of even itself out because it was bunching. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one again, and then I will be back to show you how the other ones turned out. Alrighty, so some things I learned from the first wrap. More is more. I think just put more. I don't know. I felt like I didn't have enough the first time, so I put more on this time, and I kind of just brushed it all over. Now, I believe this is because I've had these wraps for 2 years, and this project is much overdue. So if you take better care of your wraps and do it more frequently, probably every 6 months to a year or so, you probably won't need as much wax as I do. That's just because I've worn these things thin. So kind of be the judge on that one for yourself. So I put it all over this whole entire one, which is a little bit of coconut oil. I also felt I didn't need that much. So I'm going to give this one a go. You want to make sure to keep the iron moving so that you don't burn the wax either. I'm starting to realize I think you really want to push the wax out towards the edges so that you can kind of see it on your parchment paper spilling over. I think that would really help. Ah, yes, there we go. Yeah, that's how you do it. Much, much, much better. You can see now the edges are all nice and smooth. No clumpy wax. Now you can save your parchment paper and keep reusing it. Don't want to be wasteful. So now I'm going to do this cute little guy. Oh, I also decided to use the bigger grading holes because this was just not cutting it for me. If you want, you could use a different grater than what you normally use in your kitchen for your food. But I'm going to pour boiling hot water over all of it and it will melt and then I'll wash it. So I figure it will be fine. Best for last, Bowie's face on my food. So that was actually pretty easy. I'm very impressed. First time, didn't muck them up. And now I have like new beeswax wraps that I can use for another 6 months. I won't wait as long to do this again now that I've done it too. I wish that I could tell you where I got these amazing Bowie wraps. Well, I can tell you where I got them. I got them at localbloom.ca. It is a Canadian company that sells local brands, but I can't remember the company that made these specific ones. So sorry. If you do, if you have Bowie beeswax wraps too, please comment below and let me know so I can tell these people how much I appreciate their wraps and give them some credit for that as well. If you liked this video of me at home doing some things around the house, let me know. I will be doing more videos like this to kind of show you different ways that we try to be low waste in our household and try to save money and energy. Mostly money, well, mostly energy. but both maybe actually. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and give it a like, a thumbs up, and comment if you want to see more. Peace out, guys.